Okay, made it outside Old Trafford. The team is in and it's strong going front line anyway. Looking at Anthony, Sancho, Rashford, Weghorst and Bruno. It's like a Bruno, I'm guessing, is number 8 alongside Casemiro like he was against Real Betis. Sancho could be on the right, could be at 10. I'm thinking Weghorst 9. Rashford, actually, it's hard to pick out. And it could be Anthony on the right hand side, Rashford on the left, Sancho at 10, Weghorst at 9, Bruno behind him. That's what I'm going with early doors on it, but it could change, and I think we've seen it change. And that whole front line, the full front 5, can interchange into all positions. So it's going to be really interesting. Difficult for Southampton to set up against that, because there's no way of knowing. Like, we're all trying to discuss now how anyone is actually going to approach it, who's going to play where. So where they're going to play is how they're going to approach it. So it's anyone's guess, because it's practically impossible to judge who is going to play where in that front line. So yeah, we'll see when we get in there. We'll see when the game starts, but I'm pretty confident that I'll go Anthony right, Rashford left, then we've got Sancho 10 with Weghorst 9, Bruno behind with Casemiro. Let's see, should be fun.
Old Trafford, this is the Theatre of Dreams. Will you please welcome Southampton and Manchester United.
Half time here at Old Trafford and not going according to plan, not in terms of the result and what's actually happening on the pitch score wise. 0-0 it is. United probably should be in front with the better chances. De Gea's made one good save from the header from Southampton, while Prowell's free kick has gone, but just wide off a deflection. It was what happened to bring that Ward-Prowse free kick, which is grabbing the headlines though, which was a red card with Casemiro again. Oh man, it's just VAR. Anthony Taylor stole the show here today, to be honest, and obviously in hindsight we will see the results back later and what's happened. We'll watch the replays and everything, but he's just given absolutely everything to Southampton from what it seems here. Absolutely everything has been given at every opportunity, and he could not wait to get across to have a look at that possible red card for Casemiro. Not seen it, can't comment on it enough, don't know enough if it was or not. He got the ball and all that, but past that, I don't know, whatever the refs decided to do. Went and checked it, VAR, Casemiro, red card, United down to 10 men and in trouble. Saying that though, we have been the better team since we went down to 10 men, and probably should have had a penalty ourselves, which is why it's even more frustrating than the crowd are booing Anthony Taylor as he walks off the pitch. Handball looked clear as day from here. As the player missed it, he was on his way down his arm. Clearly strikes the ball from me. Again, we'll look back on replays later. Hopefully we're not talking about it, we're talking about an actual result that's been brought on by not poor decisions and officiating, but we will see. One half time. Second half's going to be a hard slog, especially having busted a gut midweek. You don't need this sort of game now, but we've got it. Just the way this season's going. Hard watching the second half coming, but hopefully we've got enough just to stick it out. And if they get the win, we will see. Oh, but here we go. In the end, it's going to go down to 0-0 draw against the bottom of the league team, Southampton, and drop points. That's what it will be. It is drop points for Manchester United. Everyone here, I myself included, 4-0 I went with. We're expecting Manchester United to come away with the 3 points here comfortably. Southampton showed how poor they were there, with United playing 2/3 of the game with 10 men and obviously having the better chances in the game. In my opinion, the only one that they really created was the breakaway from a poor pass from Wan-Bissaka when we were attacking. They were dreadful, but I've never seen, I mean, there's officiating and then there's officiating. We've seen some shit here at Old Trafford this season in terms of refereeing. I'm not using this as an excuse or anything right now, but it just seems like they want to make a headline, make something happen when they're here at Old Trafford doing this. I'm just going to use an example right now. I've seen the red card, and I can see some giving it and some not. His foot hits the ball, then rolls over the top of the ball with the impact of it. So the intent, you can judge out. The fact that the Southampton player got up and shook Casemiro's hand and said sorry, said everything you need to know. But I'll just go back to an example yesterday. Leicester against Chelsea, when a player's foot clearly off the foot, he's hit the ball and then the momentum of his foot has taken, well, he was trying to take out the heart of Havertz. He's basically caved his chest and his foot was that high, not even looked at. So then you look at it and you go, that then comes down to the officials on the day. They're the ones who are making the decisions. So when you've got VAR, it's all good and well saying VAR's overturned it. It doesn't count for nothing unless you've got people running that system that actually know what they're doing, that haven't got big agendas, that haven't got a day where they want to make a name for themselves. There's no Sky, there's no BT here today. It was nothing game, no one's here filming anything. Let's take what we can. He was hell-bent on ruining the game from the word go. Yellow cards for United players whenever he had the chance, not one yellow card for Southampton players. The skullduggery, the fouls that they were committing, he just was oblivious to it. Absolutely shocking performance. Again, I'm running out of referees that are on my hit list for playing here at Old Trafford this season. It's been diabolical. I'm not going to use it as the excuse to say, yeah, that's why. I don't want to be like that. I'm not that type of person, but the night and day in officiating, and it's as long as there's human error involved in this system, VAR, we're never going to get clean decisions. We're never going to get the right decision. You can look at that there now. I think that now, is that because it's his second red card? Is that 4 matches out for Casemiro? Again, they don't understand what they're doing. They don't understand the implications of the game. There's a fair tackle. It's 1 foot. His other foot's trailing way behind. It hits the ball, the rotation of the ball takes his foot over the top, and it looks worse than what it is. But what did he do? They freeze frame it. Football doesn't work in freeze frames. It doesn't matter. It's an impact sport where it goes hell for leather for 90 minutes. You don't freeze frame it. It's just exactly what they did when Crystal Palace came to town, when they freeze framed a certain angle. You go around the other side, it looks completely different, but they don't want to know it. It's their name in lights at Old Trafford on the big stage. There you go. Either way, United, I think, still had the better chances. But at the end of the day, when you're playing 2/3 of the game with 10 men, with a schedule that we've got, what's that, 44th, 43rd game of the season, straight off the back of recovering from Anfield and then getting that emotional win in midweek. If there was any way that they were going to get a point or anything from this game today, there, it was when something like that was happening. Taylor killed the game in the first half completely. It just absolutely destroyed it as a spectacle. And the game sort of just petered out in the end with nothing really going on. Injury concern for Garnacho, which is a little bit of a concern. He came back on, looked all right, and then went off straight away. So we have to check on that. That's another player down, injured. And obviously we've now got to deal with the issue, which is Casemiro and not being available again for another 4 games. I don't know if the FA Cup comes into that. If it does that mean he misses the FA Cup semi-final? If we do beat Fulham, because the first domestic game we've got now is Fulham next Sunday, so I'm not sure what that would do. If that is part of it, it's a bit mixed up this season with how it's done with the suspensions and everything and red cards. But all I do know is it's an extra game. It's 4. So what's that? That's 8 games this season that Casemiro's missed through suspension. Near enough quarter of a leading season. That's how much we've missed him this year. We're going to do this. We're going to do this the hard way. United. Everyone is against United at the moment. I'm convinced of it. It was today, like I said, the referee again. 12 men again with the referee, and United battled out a draw. And you look at it, over an hour with 10 men. The only reason it's a bit disappointing is because it's Southampton and the bottom of the league. But you're still taking that, aren't you, in terms of hanging on that long, defending quite well and limiting them to hardly anything. De Gea had a couple of saves to make in the second half. Not much at all. Southampton are poor and deserve to go down. If you're not going to take the bull by the horns and go for that there, your perfect opportunity to get some at Old Trafford, then you deserve to go down. They were diabolical. They were garbage. All they've got is Ward-Prowse. That is it. Shout out today, I think, to Leach Shaw, who was absolutely phenomenal in defence today. Absolutely superb, and by far Man United's man of the match. The players just look like they're burnt out. They look like we've run out of energy. Bruno looks dead on his feet. Big shout out again to Scott McTominay, because who came on and played well, Scott McTominay today. He played some great balls, great interceptions, and made some important headers as well. When they brought on that basketball player at the end there, I was slightly concerned. I don't even know who he is. Don't know who he is, but at the end of the day, Scott McTominay came on and came to the fore really when we needed him. I thought it was a brilliant performance from him, and I'm taking credit, I'm taking a positive from that from McTominay. I thought, you know what, he's had a lot of stick recently, he deserves a shout out there, because I didn't think he put a foot wrong when he came on in the second half. Do you know what, we are going to need our midfield now, like I said, because Casemiro, 4 games, we're up against it. We've got to always do it the hard way, haven't we? It's always the hard way, but the roller coaster will just take us up and down through the whole season. There's a long way to go yet, and there's a lot more ups and downs coming with this season with United, trust me. It's just the way we roll. But positives, we've got an international break coming up. Ericsson will be back after that. Hopefully Garnacho's injury isn't too bad. We can have a little bit of a break with some players. Good performances here and there today, especially in defence. Midfield, we're lacking a little bit now. I think we're tired. Forward line, just not cutting it today. Not cutting it today for me. And 10 men pretty much was the final nail in the coffin for us creating anything or playing to any sort of rhythm that we wanted to. Let me know what you think, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in Spain.